Back in '99, we now have about 50 acres. We're not trying to become big. That's not the idea. We just want to have good fun with it. We have 38 miles of road on the ranch.
Oh my!
Just drive around and enjoy or hike the wildlife. We see the bears. We see everything. We have up front it's Sauvignon Blanc, and where we're going now we have Cabernet and we have Tempranillo. The climate up here is very close to what you find in Ribera del Duero in Spain.
We're about 1,700 feet, and so what happens is we get a cooler spring and a cooler fall where we get more depth and a little bit more of the dark fruit structure, earthiness coming out of 4 and 7. I think one of the best qualities that we get from reds here in Lake County, especially the high elevation volcanic areas, is that you get a little sort of a wildness in the wines, like a bright, fresh character. It's a differentiator between other areas. We do have depth, we do have complexity, and we have structure in the wines, but you get a bright fruit character that's a little bit refreshing for me. It helps keep some life in the wine. You want the wines to be lively, not just these smooth, deep wines are terrific, but I like a little wild character, and that we get that.
There's sage out there, and there's thyme and maybe bay laurel and so forth. Do you think that those aromas actually suffuse themselves onto the grape?
You can taste it. Oftentimes during the fermentations, you get some pine scents. And that's kind of what's neat about Lake County in general and this ranch as well, is that you look around and we don't have neighbors in terms of other vineyards. It's forest, it's raw land, and so you can taste that raw land in the wine.
You get this beautiful openness.
The air from Lake Berryessa is one thing, but then also the swing.
It gets pretty cold at night.
50 degrees. We've been down in the valley, we were down to 35 the other night.
Which also means the air is quite dry, so you have no mildew pressures, particularly on Cabernet.
We're really finding out that long, less frequent irrigations are helping out the vines in a number of ways. One, we're seeing them that we don't actually use as much water throughout the season in total. And then also, I think the vines are smarter than we think they are maybe, and that they know that when there's little periods of drought, when they're not getting water every other day from a drip system, that they actually turn on some natural hormones to help protect themselves from the intensity of the sun.
Sigma is a Greek letter, and it's used as a symbol in maths for standard deviation. And you want consistency in what you do at a fairly high level, so you don't want a lot of standard deviation. When you're at the 6 Sigma level, or the 6 level, you're in pretty good shape.
This is, I think, one of the riper vintages that we've had off of the ranch. One of the things that we find from the Lake County red wines is that the tannin and the structure that we get from the high elevation and the volcanic soils, you really need to age these wines a few years before you see the full potential.
The wines have more longevity and palate interest too, but you do have to wait for them.
The goal here is for elegance and balance. We're really not striving to make wines that are off the charts extracted. That's not the goal for us.
Okay, so tell me about Tempranillo.
It's a passion for Spain and Spanish wine, the Spanish lifestyle.
The Tempranillo here is just fantastic. It just really is really well suited to the site here. You can pick it really young and you can get some terrific kind of dusty, warmer fruit characters to it.
This is what you get out of the red volcanic soils. Lake County diamonds. And I like the elevation. I like the red volcanic soils. I like the dry climate. And the diurnal swings up here. It's just amazing with a temperature swing of 50 degrees. It brings a lot of good stuff out in the grapes.
When we have the high elevation vineyard with a shorter season, you get that more pronounced tannin character, the structure, and it needs it. This wine actually feeds off of it, the way that it plays around on your palate.